Hi everybody, good morning. It is March 12th, approximately 10:09 a.m. Eastern Time, and I am headed to Michael's. I'm on the hunt for something. I need to go get more Red Heart with Love Bluebell for my mom's cardigan because I'm working on it. I gotta finish both mom's pillows, and I gotta make mom's neighbors doilies, placemats, whatever I'm making, because and my brother's Afghan, because we're supposedly doing Christmas April 8th, 6th, it's a Saturday, so we shall see. So that is my focus, at least this whole full week, to get a jump start on everything. And then next week, my dear friend Darby and I were brainstorming, and she's designed a few things that hopefully I'm going to be able to make come to life. The only holdup might be not last night, the night before, so it would have been Sunday night. My mother-in-law called my brother-in-law, Shawnee's daddy, well, the only brother-in-law I have. Well, no, that's not true. I have two other brother-in-laws by marriage, my sister-in-law's husbands. But my husband's actual brother, he got taken to the hospital. Cal took him to the hospital. He apparently had arm and chest pain and back pain for like days. And Mom was on him, Jim, go to the hospital, and he's like a stubborn ass, so he wouldn't go. And when Cal took him on Sunday to Pottsville, they said he had to go to Lehigh because they thought he was having a heart attack. So we talked to him for a little last night. They don't think it was a heart attack, but he sounded like he was talking like this, and he could barely, and he wasn't drugged out or nothing. They barely have him on medication, but they do have him on painkillers. And you know how that is, even after surgery, they give you minimal, which is fine, because I tell them don't even bother. If I need it, I'll tell you, don't dare put a morphine pump on me. But he's a mess. He was supposed to go for an MRI, and he did go for a CAT scan, but they didn't have the results of that. And he was supposed to go for an MRI by this morning, which I assume he would have had it by now. So we'll know what's going on. So that might put a damper on things, but only temporarily. But anyway, Darby and I have it was Darb's idea. I did throw one or two in there, but Darby was the one. She's a genius. So yeah, my Darby girl's designing now. God bless her heart. I always told her she was going to be my partner in crime. I knew it, Darb. So we got some surprises coming. You won't see Darby on camera or nothing, but she's quite active on all our channels. I call it our family. And she's good friends of mine and Wanda's, and she's a good lady. She's an amazing lady. Love her to pieces. Speaking of Wanda, she has chat tonight, so I'm sure we'll all gather on her chat. I think, Wanda, correct me if I'm wrong, it's Tuesday night 8 o'clock and Saturday at 5. I'm thinking that's the way it is. I always forget, because I'm in my own little world, like doing my thing, and then I don't get the notifications. I mean, I'm 24/7 unless I'm doing whatever. I'm in front of my, like right now, obviously, I'm not in front of my computer, but that's where I spend the majority of my time, and I'm telling you, notifications are dumb on that PC. Well, it's YouTube, I guess. I feel like I'm 100 miles away from my plastic steering wheel. I'm so short. So it's a beautiful day out. It's only 34 degrees though. I turned my lantern heater off though. My mom scared me. We always left it on before, but now my mom has me scared. The kids can't knock it down, but she scared me that it could fall over and cause a fire. I fear nothing more in life than fire. That terrifies the crap out of me. Speaking of which, this isn't what I'm looking for, but I've been calling around for renter's insurance. Now, 2 years ago, I guess, we had it, but no, it would have been last year. But Wynn had surgery. He had carpal tunnel surgery, and we lost like almost $15,000 in a month and a half of him not getting overtime, them messing around, him getting his pay. By the time he got his pay, he only saw like $300 out of his check because they took out insurance and all this other crap. It was a mess. We went from pre-approved almost to $200,000 home to lucky to get a $5 credit card. Not that we were trying to get a credit card, but it was rough. Well, I could barely pay what we had to pay, let alone extras like renter's insurance. And I thought I canceled it. Apparently I didn't, and it lapsed. And I just didn't even bother to call the same place and see about renter's insurance. I guess I could call today. Anyway, I was calling other places like Liberty Mutual, Geico, and places like that. And of course they ask you if you have animals, and well, yeah. And then they ask you, do you have dogs? And yeah. And then they ask if any of them are breeds of, or the breed or breed of X animals. German Shepherds are on that list. The minute I click German Shepherd, they say, we're sorry, you may contact an agent, but we cannot help you at this time. So I called Liberty Mutual, and I said, you're like the fourth person, the fourth company. And I said, before we waste each other's time, I said, is it because I have a German Shepherd? And he said, it may not necessarily be that. Let's give it a shot. So he got zip code first, and then he said, how many German Shepherds? I said, just one. He said, okay, check in the box, and it went boop, right out. He said, that's why. I said, I know you didn't make the law, the rule, whatever you want to call it, but I said, I would like you to tell me what asinine, uneducated, ignorant individual came up with the policy that German Shepherds are, their owners are uninsurable as tenants. I said, what basis is that? When is the last time you've heard a German Shepherd attacked anybody? He said, I agree 100%. I was raised with German Shepherds. I said, well, then you get it. There's no better breed. There's no better dog. And I said, you got to really do something for a Shepherd to attack. Molly, you know, we trust Molly. But the minute someone walks in the house, it doesn't matter who it is. Molly goes, and she lets them know. She grabs their shirt usually, or their forearm. But she doesn't clamp. She just puts her teeth on them. And that's Molly's way of letting them know, I see you, I have teeth, mess with my family, we're going to have a problem. And if they get up suddenly or do whatever, Molly woo-woo-woos at them and goes towards them, but she doesn't do anything. If she wanted to, she could rip their throats out. German Shepherds that I'm aware of don't attack unless provoked, and they got to be pushed. They're not an attack breed. Well, he says because they are, I'm going to quote this, trained police dogs. They're deemed dangerous. I said, yes, the operative word there would be trained. They're also trained seeing eye dogs, and they're also trained search and rescue dogs. How imbecilic is that? I never heard of any such nonsense. What, you know, educate yourself and don't have your head in the sand. You know, these people that deem breeds, I'm going to tell you a little story about a dog breed, okay? I don't care what anybody says. We ruined the breed of dog, no matter what breed it is. We by overbreeding, we by mistreatment, we by not spay and neuter. Most times I'm ashamed to say I'm of the human persuasion. I'm sorry. But the ignorance and the stupidity of one person can ruin an entire group. And pit bulls, look at them poor dogs. I mean, back in the day, they were the nanny dog. They were the dogs that watched the babies. You know, and I'm sorry to tell you, but again, education goes a long way. Pit bulls are one of the most please their master dog there is. And one thing that gets me mad is I saw, was it cops or I don't know, but they showed the sheriff came to evict the tenant. Older, she had to be nuts. Young sheriff, well, she was from the sheriff's office. She wasn't the sheriff. But she was coming to serve the eviction. She might have been in her mid-20s. This poor girl. Lunatic old hag opened the door and told her pit bull, who was standing there. Okay, let me rephrase that. The dog was standing in an open door. She had the door open, and the dog stood in between the lady and the doorway and barked at the sheriff lady, but never moved a hand off that threshold until Psycho says to the poor dog, attack. That dog looks up at her like, are you freaking serious? She says, get her. And that dog lunged and attacked this poor young girl doing nothing but her job. I mean, she didn't kill her. The dog didn't kill her, but the dog maimed her pretty good. Who suffered? That poor girl and that poor dog who wanted nothing more than to please its master. Without provocation, I watched it with my own eyes. Without provocation, that dog wasn't moving off that threshold. That dog stood beside that psycho fat bat and never did a dagblasted thing until that psycho from you-know-where said attack. We are the problem, not the dog. We, as a messed up race, are the problem of why breeds are deemed dangerous. There's no such thing as a dangerous dog. I am sorry. There are dangerous human beings, and we are the only animal who hurts, maims, and kills for the sheer pleasure of it. There is no other animal on the planet that kills for any other thing but survival, whether via food or via territory, which is both their survival instinct. No other animal but mankind kills, hurts, or destroys for anything other than the mere instinct of survival. And yes, I will go on a tangent. I'm an animal lover. I'm an animal advocate. I am an animal voice all the way. And it angers me to the 5 millionth degree when someone like me and my husband, who are over-responsible, you know, we did get pre-approved for a mortgage 2 years ago. Yeah, we did. Do you know why we didn't even so much as look for a house? Because when we sat and crunched the numbers, and I looked at him and he looked at me and he said, okay, this gives us a cushion of, say, $300 to spare. What happens if one of the kids need vetted? What happens if one of the kids gets sick? What happens if one of the kids need medication? Like Madeline was on almost $400 worth of medication a month at one time. We gave up owning a home because we didn't want to short ourselves if our babies needed proper care. Who does that? But yet we're going to be denied renter's insurance because we chose to rescue a German Shepherd, because some asinine butthead at one point or another made it that the breed itself has been deemed dangerous. I'm sorry, but I don't understand. I don't. Anyway, I guess I'm going to call the little mom and pop places that aren't big like Geico and them. I was actually hoping to change our insurance for the vehicles actually at Liberty Mutual, but I guess that's not happening either. I'd like to do an all-inclusive. I just don't understand. And I'm going to tell you another something about Molly. When Molly was 3 months old, she tried to attack my dad. I told you how we have to feed her. We have to soften her food, and she has to be elevated. But we didn't take the diner up to my parents. We just took her food in her bowls. Well, we had to feed her every 2 hours until she was 1.5 years old, because she was pretty well emaciated till her body grew into itself from what she had. She got done eating, and Chucky said something to my dad, and my dad went to hand win something, and when he did, he reached over and he came this close to touching Molly's daddy, and she stood up on her daddy's leg and I mean, every hair on her body stood straight up. 3.5-month-old puppy. Had Chucky let her go, she would have tried to tear my dad apart. She was mad because he went for her father. That's all she saw. You went for my dad, you're going to learn a lesson. And my dad said, good dog. He said, you got yourself a lethal weapon right there. And we know beyond a shadow of a doubt, don't mess with us, Ma will kill you. However, Molly doesn't purposely go on the attack. Now, Molly also was very food aggressive, because to this day, Molly thinks she's starving. She'll never get that out of her mind because of what she had when she was an infant. That was embedded in her brain in her formative months of life, that she's starving. So she will always think she's starving. She doesn't understand she's not. Food is an aggressor for Molly. Now, all the other dogs would have to do is, like, if I was preparing even lettuce and one of them would walk by, Molly would attack them. She never drew blood. She never hurt anybody. But like Gracie, she'd floor her and have a hold of her, and Gracie would be screaming at the top of her lungs. I don't believe in shock collars. I don't believe in pinch collars. But I said to Chucky, she did it twice, and the second time she got a little nastier, and I said to Chucky, go get a shock collar and get it now. I said it's that, or I call Dr. Rhodes and Molly goes, because I'm not having dogs that have never been hurt, attacked, or anything in any way, shape, or form hurt by Molly, even though Molly doesn't understand. She cannot and will not attack these dogs that were here first and don't deserve this. So he went and he got a shock collar. He put it on the lowest setting. When Molly went for Grace again, he yelled no, and he zapped her. Molly yelped, and she kind of looked at him. And this was, okay, Molly turned 3 in November, so this was, she was under 1 year old. And about a week later, she was getting funny again. And he was in the bathroom and I was in the hallway, and I said, I'm putting the collar on her. Where is it? Did you charge it? He said, yeah, it's on the island there. I said, okay. So I went to put it on her, and when I did, I wasn't paying attention. I must have zapped her, because all of a sudden she let out this squeal and she jumped straight up in the air, and Wynn said, holy bleep. He said, I think that sucker was on high. I said, oh my God, oh my God. Well, I took the remote back to him, and sure enough, it was set up. It wasn't high, but it was pretty high. He said, holy crap. He said, you probably shocked the nerves out of her. That was the only time Molly ever had to get shocked. To this day, and remember, she was under 1 year old, all you have to do is show her that remote, and she hunkers down, and she puts her tail between her legs, and she heads in the room, and she, like, cowers. She got it. She understands. In the wrong hands, with an irresponsible person, Molly would have been a different and absolutely dangerous dog. See what I'm saying? There is no such thing as a dangerous dog. It's a dangerous person. We don't want an attacking dog. We don't want a dog that attacks our other dogs. That's the most horrible thing in the world, to hear a dog screaming. And to see a dog be attacked. That's horrible. That's an image. That has nothing to do with Molly and that, but when I lived with my ex-husband, his dog all but killed my Hannah. And that's another story in itself. That's an image to the day I die I'll never get out of my head. That horrible dog had my Hannah, the size of Dixie, up in the air, swinging her like a rag doll. And had Hannah not been built like a brick shit house, she would have killed her. She put a hole from one shoulder to the other. My Hannah came home with a drain tube that hung out from one end of her shoulder to the other end. It was like this flipping long. Another story in itself, but that dog was the Rhodesian Ridgeback, and they're bred to kill lions, so you do the math. My Hannah didn't stand a chance. My Hannah was 68 solid pounds of muscle. She picked her up off the ground and shook her like she weighed a feather. It was hell. So, we all have choices to make, but the dog doesn't. The dog doesn't have a choice, and if it's bred wrong, you know, inbred dogs are dogs bred too close, dogs bred to immature mothers. Do your damn research, and this is why I don't believe in breeding. You know, oh, that Labradoodle might be cute, or that designer dog might be cute. Do you even know the genetics of the breeds when you're breeding these two breeds together? I mean, seriously, I'm sorry, but if you are not breeding for the betterment of the breed that you love, which I live, die, and love German Shepherds and Basset Hounds, but German Shepherds are my breed since I'm a child. If you are not breeding for the betterment of that breed, better hips, better stature, better slopes of their back, better everything of that breed, what are you breeding for? You know, you should be breeding to breed out the bad hips, to breed out the, you know what I mean? What is wrong with people? Okay, I went off on a tirade. I'm very passionate about my breed. I'm very passionate about animals, and especially dogs. I love them more than life. But I am at Michael's. I also love yarn pretty much. So let's see what I can find, and I'll be back. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Blown away, blown away. Hello again. I am back. I ran into, well, I was in Michael's for a while, mainly because I was yapping. I met a new friend. Her name is Kathy. If you're watching, Kathy, hello. And also Mary, if you happen to pop on later, hello to you too. She works at Michael's, and I talked to her last time I was there, but she lost my biz card, which is okay. I do that all the time. So I was in there jib-jabbing, but first they had a lot of clearance on the Vanna's is obviously going out. I don't know what the gig is there. I could not find a single latte cake. We all looked, which is all right. I didn't expect to. I didn't get my red heart with love like I needed to, so I'm gonna have to go. I'm hoping they have it at Walmart. If not, I'm gonna have to order it online and pick up, because I need 2 more at least for my mom's sweater. I could run down to Joann's, but I really don't. Well, if I go that way, I could. Maybe I will. We'll see. I didn't get much yarn. I got some charms. I spent well, I guess I did get a little bit of yarn. I got jewel tone colors for my coat. My new friend Kathy helped me pick out colors, which was great. I can't wait to make that coat. And I got some charms for stitch markers for myself, because I'm seriously lacking in the stitch marker department. I have the sweater I'm making. I got a section off for the shoulders. I need 2 stitch markers there, and then another one for the center back, and I don't have any, so I actually got to make stitch markers. So I'm thinking about stopping at, I guess I could run down to Joann's. It's just down this way. Yeah, alright, and then I turn. Alright, I'll run down. I hate to do it, but I will. I have actually a $5 reward at Joann's, so if they didn't take it away. So, one of them will be free. May as well go there. Chucky won a gun at that drawing, so I guess we're gonna go pick up a gun tomorrow if he gets a half day. I don't know about Hobby Lobby, if they're having a clearance or not. Hobby Lobby makes me mad with their coupon policy. And it better be a doggone good deal, because I didn't even want to spend the $60 I just spent. If it wouldn't have been for my coat, I wouldn't have got any of that yarn. I did get, they're clearancing Snuggly Wuggly, which I do like that a lot. And I got 2 of them, but they're 900 some yards and a 3 for a nice spring cardie. And then they're clearancing a lot of the Karen Big Cakes. I did get 2 of them for another cardie. So, because I wear cardigans all the time, even in summer. Like if a breeze blows, I get goosies. And with the AC on for winning the kids, I need to have a cardie or I'll freeze to death. You lose 120 pounds and you get cold mighty quick. I could go to the butcher shop. It's expensive in there though. Oh, look at my hair's a mess. I plucked my eyebrows to infinity. I almost hardly have any. None, I mean. I have to clean my dumb house. I bought new living room curtains because I don't have time to sew my own. Beautiful red burgundy plaid. It's gorgeous. So I don't know when I'm gonna have time for to get everything done here. My days just go. I just don't know where I'm supposed to get time. I really don't. Maybe I'll stop in Ollie's. I haven't been in there in forever. I'm being brave. Normally I don't drive down here myself. I'm scared. I'm proud of myself. Dang it. Lived down here 13 years and this is the first time I'm doing this by myself. Now I'll go just to Michael's and that, but I've never been on this Ray unless I have the GPS on. But I remembered how to go. So here I am. I'm proud. And then on the way coming home I will hit DG or Dollar Tree, I mean. There's some air in here. Okay, where is Ollie's and... See, I don't know what's where. Okay, Ollie's is in here, so I'll turn in here and hit Ollie's. Oh shit, Maurice's is in here. I need clothing like I need a hole in the head. I'm not going to Maurice's. Ollie's for a minute. I heard that Ollie's has yarn sometimes, but it better be cheap. I don't need yarn, I'll be honest with y'all. Okay, there's Petco. I went into PetSmart for pet grass and they don't have any. Peepers keeps wanting to get out the door and get the grass, and there is no grass right now. It's all covered in snow. But she really wants grass, so we're gonna try and get her some pet grass. Cat grass. But I'll go into Ollie's first. And then I'll run over to Petco. I hope someone has a bathroom. I need to pee. TMI, sorry guys. Alright, going into Ollie's to see what I can get myself into. Maybe I'll find some crochet books. I'll be back.